Okay, this video is going to cover using VCarve Pro along with Illustrator to make a project on our laser cutter. This project could be a holiday ornament, or it could be a coaster, or any number of projects that you'd want to cut out the material and also do an engraving operation. In VCarve, I've already got started here, and I set up my job setup to 2.375 and the height and width and a thickness of 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch, the thickness doesn't really matter, but we're going to leave it there at 1/4 of an inch anyway. I'm going to make an ornament for this example, so I'm going to start with a circle, and I want that circle to be 2 1/4, and that's because of the stock that I have set up. I'm going to hit apply and close that out, and I'm going to select it, and I want it to be centered in my stock. What I mean by that is I've got it a little tighter to this edge than this edge, and it needs to move down. So in VCarve, I'm just going to go to Align Material, and it's going to put that right in the center. Now, up here in the corner of my ornament, I want to be able to run a little hook through there. So I'm going to make another circle up here. Let's say maybe something about that big, and hit apply. I'm going to make one more circle, and this one's going to be 0.1 in diameter. And I'm going to hit close. Now, if I select the outer circle here and then hold the shift key and select this circle and go back to my alignment, instead of aligning to material, I can align to selection, and I can get those two to go together. Now, while I have them both selected, I'm going to move them a little closer to my big circle, and something like that. You want to come in fairly close so that the inner circle is almost there. Then we're going to grab our scissors and get rid of these things. Now, to add a little strength to this ornament, we could put a small fillet in here, and the fillet command is right here. And I'm going to type in 0.05 for my fillet. Whoops. 0.05. And I'm going to come in here and click here, and that's going to make this a little bit stronger. Close that out. Now I want to put some text on here, so I'm going to grab my text tool right here and type in my message. All right, hit apply. You can select what font you want. I'm happy with that font. Hit apply. All right, now we're going to add another circle to this project. I'm going to make a circle that's 1 1/2 in diameter. Actually, make it 1.75. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. Hit apply, close that out. I now want this to be centered in my stock, just like the big circle. So I'm going to go back to this and center it on the stock or the material. If I hold my shift key down, close this out first, hold your shift key down and select both of these items, there's a neat feature in here that you can get the text to follow the line. I want it to be on the curve, no offset, and let's hit apply. You can see it puts our text right on that curve. Now you can go above the curve, you can go below the curve, you can go on the other side of the curve. You can play around with this to achieve the results you're looking for. You can also make your text a little bit larger or a little bit smaller if you maybe picked a font that was too big or too small to begin with. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, something that looks like that. Hit apply. Now I'd like to move this text so that it's not off to the side, because this is my ornament's going to hang here. So I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to grab this and rotate it a little bit. I'm going to have to move it with my arrow key now, get it closer to where I want it. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to get rid of my circle because I don't need that anymore. Select it and hit delete. So I've got my text on there. Now I'm going to pull a graphic in, and I found an easier way. You may remember from the clock project that we saved a graphic and then imported it. Well, I found an easier way to do it. First of all, we're going to type in the word silhouette in our search, and then we're going to go to Tools and go to Large, and then we're going to look at the options that we want. I'd like you to avoid artwork that has watermarks in it. There's a way to correct that or get rid of it, but I don't want to lengthen this lesson. So I'm going to pick something that I like that does not have a watermark, that is a silhouette, in other words, black and white. And then all I need to do is right click and copy image. And then I'm going to right in here, right click and paste that image. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going to move this off to the side temporarily, grab our trace tool and hit my preview. I don't even need to touch anything because it's black and white. Hit preview and I'm set, apply, close that out, and I can delete my background. Now I have my vectors here and I can move them over. It looks like they're a little bit too big, so I'm going to resize them. I can again use my arrow key for placement if I want. Maybe a tiny bit smaller. And looks pretty close. Okay, we have our artwork, so I'm going to go ahead and go to File and go to Save. Save As. Let's do that. I'm going to save it into my student folder on the tech drive, my last name, and I'm going to call it Laser Project. I'm going to replace it because I already have one of those. All right, and now we need to take it into Illustrator, which is another step. It's pretty simple. We're going to select all this. We're going to go to File, go to Export to AI, which stands for Adobe Illustrator. All right, I'm going to call it Laser Project in that same folder, same name, it's just a different file type. I'm going to replace that one as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and close out of VCarve, and the rest of my work is going to take place here in Illustrator. So, to find Illustrator, you can come under the window here and type in ILL and launch Illustrator. I obviously already have it open. Start from scratch here. I'm going to go to File, Open, find that project that let me just close this for a second. I think it's going to give me grief because I already have this project open. All right, we'll try that again. File, Open. There's my project. Now, with the laser cutter, there's a way in which we can have the laser cutter cut things all the way through the material or engrave them. And this project's going to have a combination of both. Obviously, I want the hole cut out and I want the shape cut out. So in order to get that to work, I'm going to select this, hold my Shift key, and select the hole. And under stroke, I want to type in 0.001 IN for 1/1000th of an inch and hit enter. And you'll see that my lines are very light now. Now to navigate in Illustrator, you can either hit Control+ to zoom in, Control- to zoom out. You could also use the magnifying glass and make a box around what you want. To move around, you hold the space button down and you can pan around within the screen. So I want my snowflake to not just be these lines here. I want it to be all engraved. So if I select my snowflake, I'm going to switch over here and make it filled in black. All right, so it's going to all engrave. I'd like to do the same thing with my letters, but I'm going to need to do those individually. So I'm going to have to hold the Shift key down, and you'll notice that I'm also going to have to deal with the letters that have holes in the middle. And I'll show you how we'll address that. So I'm going to fill them all black to start. And you're going to see I've got a problem here with my L and O. So now I just need to select the inner parts of those, and we're going to make it white. And we're good to go. All right, so now I'm just going to save this file with the changes. It's the same thing, converted. Hit OK. And we're going to bring that file right over to the laser cutter and go ahead and cut it out. And it's as simple as that.